Hello everyone, so today we will go over how to enable tessellation for your landscape, and let's get started. So first we need to enable it in the engine itself. For that we need to find out where our project is saved, and the easiest way is just go to your Unreal Engine launcher and right click your project and click show in folder. And then you have your path for your project, go into config and default engine. And if you scroll down under render settings, you need to add both of these points. If you think, well, that sounds familiar, I already made a video on how to enable tessellation in the engine itself for objects, but now we will use it on the terrain. But for our terrain, we need to add these two values. I put them in the video description, so you can just copy them. If you want to type them, make sure tessellation double S and double L. I forgot one L and nothing was working, so make sure to spell it the right way. After that you just save it, restart Unreal Engine. Sometimes you need to restart the Epic Games Launcher too, and after that we can hop into Unreal and create a new terrain. So let me just delete my landscape and just go to selection, landscape. And I just use the basic one for the moment because it's just a demonstration. If it would be for an environment or production, I maybe would increase the resolution. But for now, the basic one is fine. So let's go back to selection. And I already restarted my engine, so I don't need to do that. I have my terrain, but I need to put something on the terrain where we need some textures, obviously, because that looks quite boring. And for that, Quixel Bitch is the easiest way. Just right click in your content and hit add Quixel content. I have some downloaded. I think it always looks the best with rocky textures. So if you look for maybe stone ground and pick something from that list, that will look nice. And yeah, stuff like that, the rocky riverbed, the gravel ground, that's all stuff which works really well with tessellation because of the small rocks and large forms. Yeah, make sure to get some texture like this. So make sure to grab the textures you want to use, download them and import them or add them to your project just by hitting the add button. And I added quite a few. So when you have the textures imported, we obviously need a material. And for that I just go under content, right click, material, and let's call it testy. And let's open testy and find the texture we want to use. So I think I will use the gravel, yeah, this one. And you just hold shift, click all three textures, drag and drop them in. And obviously the diffuse or base color or albedo goes into the base color slot, the normal in the normal slot. And then we have our mask texture, which is called, let's check again, ORDP, yeah, or ORD, which is occlusion in the red channel, roughness in the green channel, and displacement or the height map we want to use in the blue channel. So let's just put the ambient occlusion here, the roughness here, and because of the console commands we entered before in the ini or in the INI file, we have this displacement slot now. So that's where we put our blue texture. And after that we can hit save or apply, whatever you want. But we need to do one more thing. So we need to click our material function. And if we go under search and search for NaN, so nanite, we can hit use with nanite. That should be on automatically when we put the material into the terrain slot, but we can enable it here too. And under magnitude we can control the effect, so how strong or how not strong it is in the end. I would start out with 0.05 and hit save. So let's minimize this. And if we go under content, we have our testy, we have our terrain, and let's go a little bit up. So we just need to drag and drop it into the landscape material. Well, it still looks quite flat, not really tessellated. That's because we need to do two more things. But before that, make sure to check out my first official course I just created. It's on ArtStation, flipped normals, and I think even on my Gumroad page. It's about photogrammetry, how to get into photogrammetry, what do you need, what software do you need, how all of this works. The course will teach you how to scan stuff. I use an Apple in this course, but you can use whatever you want. Make sure to keep it easy, and after that course you are able to scan whatever you want in a controlled environment, in a studio. So if you're into photogrammetry and if you want to work in the games industry, make sure you know photogrammetry and how it works. Make sure to click the links below, one of them. For ArtStation there's a discount code for the first 100 people, and make sure to learn it. So let's get back into Unreal Engine. So we need to enable some stuff. Right now we have a quite flat terrain, and first we need to go into the console. If you don't have this little CMD down below or your output log, you can just go under Window, and here we have the output log, and if you click it you get this beautiful window. It's the same as the console because the console is down below here. And we need to enter, let me copy paste it, r.nanite.load tessellation, and you can see I spelled it wrong, with a double S and double L, and then spacebar 1, no equal, and then we also need to enter r.nanite.tessellation space 1. There can be an error message, it still should work. So now everything should work. If we now hit our terrain, left mouse button, and scroll down, under Nanite we need to enable Nanite, hit build data, and let's see what happens. We can see we have tessellation. It looks a little bit noisy, I would say, and I will show you in a second why, but first let's scale it down a little bit. If we go in if we enter our material and put the magnitude on 0.02, save it, give it a second, and now it's a little bit better. So this stepping is normal. That's because if we go in our material and in this texture, double click it, open it. So if we disable these channels and go only in the blue channel, here we can see our height map. And as you can see, the quality is, well, yeah, it's 4K, it's not the greatest, but the main problem is the sharpness. So I would extract this map and open it in Photoshop and blur it. So give it a good amount of blur so you don't have this stepping effect on the side. That's a workaround you could do. There are plenty of workarounds. Pretty sure you can just do that in Unreal Engine 2, but that's why you see the stepping in the tessellation. That's just how the height map is imported and how the height map works. That's just because of the sharpness. So that's our main material. But if we want to replace the texture, there are two ways. We could just go on the albedo map and let's just open a different texture, maybe the woods if I still have them. No, I don't have them. Let's use this rock then. You just go on your material, left click, click your texture. So left click, click your texture, and then hit this button. And now we have a different albedo map. But that takes forever and that's not the smartest way. So let's close this material and find it, right click it, and create a material instance. And if we open that, we can't really change much. That's because we still need to make it, yeah, into a parameter. So you just right click your texture sample node, right click, convert to parameter. Let's call it albedo. Same for this one, normal, convert to parameter, normal. And for this one, Come to parameter mask, save it. And if we now go into the instance, we have these slots. When we activate them, we can just go into our Megascans folder, search for a different texture. Let's get the walk one, drag and drop them, like so. Save it. And then we need to apply our instance to the terrain. So let's hit the landscape, go up, drag and drop it, give it a second. And if nothing happens, that can be normal, you just hit rebuild data. And now we have some, walk face. And we also could increase the amount a little bit for this one. But I guess you get the hang of that. So let's increase that one. And like I said, displacement tessellation works really well with stuff like this, like rocky faces, cliffs, some rock walls, and obviously the tiling is a little bit off, but that's just the basic how to get you started. And if you are interested in how to enable tessellation on meshes, you really should check out this video.